He was better at... Wait, here it is. The best sound in the world.
Oh, God.
This is what human crying sounds like, right?
That's the ugliest cry in the world.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Justin, and we're here with episode 10 of Gundam seed. I believe Crossroads is the title. Why don't you go ahead and regale us with what happened last episode?
Last episode, everyone peacefully got to where they were going, and no one got hurt. I would love to say that was true, but it is not whatsoever. There was a good moment where we thought that peace might be a thing in this instance, where we do get to our moon headquarters, and everyone can relax. But the forces that were supposed to be guiding us there get intercepted by Zaft, and it turns into a big old fight, where Kira gets stopped in the hallway multiple times, when he should be getting to the battle, goes out, there is a fight between Gundams, and then it turns into a series of war crimes to avoid the destruction of the Archangel. And that is where we left off. Also, what's her... I don't have the thing pulled up and I don't want to open it. But somebody's father was on a ship, and that ship got blown up.
How do you already forget Flay's name?
Flay.
You were just talking about her a minute ago.
I know! It's okay.
Flay Alistair. Look, I'm not even looking at it. Flay Alistair, her father's name is George Alistair.
I remembered the last name. I just didn't remember the first name. But you know what? People in the comments will tell me how good I am at remembering names. It's okay.
Of course they will. I remembered it, so obviously the hatred that I'll get is going to have to go somewhere. So they'll have to comment how great it was that you remembered everything.
I know. It's incredible. But yeah, so Flay Alistair wasn't happy and took a hostage, which then was taken hostage by an actual military personnel, which was where we effectively left off.
Okay.
The fight will continue.
Anything else you want to say about this upcoming episode then?
I'm curious to see what happens, because it seems like there's going to be two different directives from Zaft.
Sorry, it's the thing I've heard a bunch of times and I've always made fun of when somebody says, I'm interested to see what happens. Because that's the bare minimum for watching a show.
Yeah.
If I wasn't interested to see what happens, I'd probably stop watching a show.
But I think it's definitely going to be multiple people within Zaft being like, this is what we should do versus this is what we should do. Based off of what we've seen so far.
Well, I mean, I've already told you that this is where everything changes, so... I mean, again, to my limited knowledge, I've apparently seen less than half of this season of the show. So, if there's bigger changes to come, I obviously don't know, but let's say in the parlance of a Mushoku Tensei, I would say this is like turning point 1.
Got it.
Which I know means nothing to you, but I don't even think there's a crossover in our audience of Gundam to Mushoku Tensei. I think that would just ended up being just for me.
Hey, and I'll let you have that.
Alright then, well, I guess if you got nothing else...
I do not.
Alright, I guess we go ahead and just get into it. But before we get started, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out over on the Patreon. Just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure. It's all to support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Nice little episode review.
Yeah, everything should be perfectly fine if you ignore those 3 gins, though. Oh, wait, never mind.
Also, she's implying that she's gonna kill her with her bare hands and no weapon.
I didn't think you realize how easy it is to kill a person.
Which if she is...
She's very angry. And
yeah.
Lacus seems like somebody who's grown up in a zero-G environment. Look, you can push somebody really hard and accidentally kill them. I feel like most homicides off of a battlefield are accidental in nature. Got into an argument, I pushed somebody, didn't mean to kill them, they fell over and hit their head on the concrete, now they're dead.
There's also a lot of fights that have ended that way as well.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking about recent news stuff, and I don't want to bring that up here, but that's why my voice went, yeah. It's like, ah, shit. Thinking of stuff I don't want to talk about. But yeah, no, you're making it sound like Flake couldn't just kill somebody with their bare hands. Anybody can kill somebody with their bare hands.
I'm aware of that, but it's more the idea if she is genetically modified and is somehow a superhuman, it might be more difficult.
That's a fair point. I don't think I brought that up in my counter to you. But that assumes that Lacus would defend herself.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, she doesn't seem like that kind of person. There are people out there. This never works well when I say it in an argument. There are people out there that would rather die than kill somebody to defend themselves.
You're not wrong.
Like, apparently it's a common thing to happen on the battlefield for the first time you aim to shoot somebody. To aim wide and intentionally miss.
Absolutely.
そうだ。全軍攻撃中止。今の放送が聞こえなかったのか。
救助した民間人を人質に取る。そんな卑怯者と共に戦うのがお前の正義か。キラー。アスラ。
That's a war crime.
必ずな。
とりあえずの危機は回避したものの、状況に何の変わりもないわね。この間に体制を立て直すことはできます。現時点ではそれが最も重要かと。ええ、分かってるわ。
急いでくれよ。これで終わったってわけじゃないんだからな。分かってますわ。しかし疫病神なんじゃないですかね。この船は。クルーズの方だろう。
Maybe a little bit.
どういうことですか。
どうもこうも聞いたろ。そういうことさ。
あの子を人質にとって脅して、そうやって逃げるのが地球軍って軍隊なんですか。
そういう情けねえことしかできねえのは
Fair.
俺たちが弱いからだろ。俺にもお前にも艦長や副長を非難する権利はねえよ。
Also, you're completely wrong. Yeah. That was my point the first time around, too. It's literally a soldier's duty to ensure that their orders are compliant.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you want to pull the same defense as those that, you know, died at Nuremberg.
ガモフの位置はどのくらいでこちらに合流できる？
現在6マーク509イプシロン。
I think pointedly, though, the idea is that if you constantly fight your enemies this way, you'll have it'll be a known thing, and they'll treat you preemptively as though you fight this way.
Now she has PTSD.
I know it's horrible, but I did make a whole joke cut about this scene. We'll just...
嘘つき大丈夫って言ったじゃない。僕たちも行くから大丈夫だって。なんでパパの船を守ってくれなかったの。なんであいつらをやっつけてくれなかったのよ。フレイ
And she is gone.
自分もコーディネーターだからって本気で戦ってないでしょ。
I want to point out that I agreed with Flay during this scene.
I can completely understand with that agreement, because we don't know if that's true or not.
Well, no, I mean, Kira isn't fighting seriously. He fucked around with Atherin that whole fight and ignored everything else.
Yep.
そんな卑怯者と共に戦うのがお前の正義か。そういう情けないことしかできねえのは俺たちが弱いからだろ。
あんた自分もコーディネーターだからって。
I think Laflaga's point is that indicating to him that they're weak. Obviously, if he was stronger, I mean, it's not his point, but it could be read that way. That if he was better at... Wait, here it is. The best sound in the world.
Oh, God.
This is what human crying sounds like, right?
That's the ugliest cry in the world. And it's not even in the world.
No, that's the sound of somebody gargling marbles. I have no idea what that was. That is the greatest sound in the world.
God.
Rao with no mask.
That's just rough.
いや、ブリッジで聞く。やれやれ、小娘一人の命に大騒ぎか。
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it's a standing question for me too. I don't know why Rao takes pills. I don't know why Rao has to check his hand.
何やってんですか。こんなところで。
Why doesn't the fucking lock on your door work?
こちらから大きなお声が聞こえたものですから。
ダメですよ。
Sorry, I thought somebody was eating glass and I wanted to make sure you were okay.
Thought somebody was choking to death out here.
このピンクちゃんはお散歩が好きで。というか、鍵がかかってると必ず開けて出てしまいますの。認めたくない。
And there you go.
Yep.
とにかく戻りましょう。さ
あ。戦いは終わりましたのね。
ええ、まあ、あなたのおかげで。
Well, not really. I mean, I don't think the hostage for being taken hostage.
僕は本当は戦いたくなんてないんです。僕だってコーディネーターなんだし、アスランはとても仲の良かった友達なんだ。
Yep.
アスラン・ザラ、彼があのモビルスーツ、イージスのパイロットだなんて。
Oh, snap.
Yeah, well, it was before just a rumor.
彼もあなたもいい人ですもの。それは悲しいことですわね。
アスランを知ってるんですか。
アスラン・ザラは私がいずれ結婚する方ですわ。
Hold on, are they gonna follow up one of the scenes they showed
とても無口な人。
right after this? It's a person I'm supposed to marry?
でもこの春をくださいましたの。
What? Are you suddenly thinking about her butt?
It's just matching up that that's what's gonna happen right after the mention of I'm gonna marry that person.
There you go. That's why he had the tools on his table. because you saw the shell of a Haru on his table too.
You did?
僕のトリも彼が作ってくれたものなんです。そうですの。
So my first thought was, when I heard that he made Birdie, was that cool possible zaft spy robots on the ship too.
Yep. Yep.
そりゃフレイの気持ちもわかるわよ。でも
Hey guys, let me tell you what I just heard.
自分もコーディネーターだから本気で戦ってないか。
そんなことねえよ。いつだってキラはすごい頑張って戦ってんじゃんかよ。
Oh, it's about to be revealed.
俺だって疑ってるわけじゃないさ。ブリッジにいればモビルスーツでの戦闘がどれだけ大変なものかってのは嫌でもわかるし。
でも本当そうかな。
But what if he wasn't?
なんだよ、カズイ。
取られちゃったあのモビルスーツ、イージスってのに乗ってんのキラの昔の友達らしいよ。
Yep, which this is gonna put him in a rough spot.
仲の良かったやつだって。
Like I said, he's not trying hard enough, and everyone's getting that indication as well. And maybe he is trying as hard as he thinks he can, but again, he was fucking around with Atherin instead of defending other people. Which is something I can't get past.
Looking the spy right in the eye.
I doubt they're complicated enough machines to be able to spy. I mean, despite the fact they seem to have fully grown artificial intelligences and everything, but they have like childlike intelligence.
Yeah. Uh.
黙って一緒に来てください。静かに。
Okay.
What, you thought the undressing scene was coming all of a sudden?
No, I thought it was coming at the end of whatever that last scene was as a weird.
Because this is how you hide people.
何やってんだお前。
彼女どうするつもり？まさか。
黙って行かせてくれ。サイたちを巻き込みたくない。
Okay.
僕は嫌なんだこんなの。
Oh, I know what he's gonna do.
ま、女の子を人質に
Oh
取るなんて
God.
本来悪役のやることだしな。
I mean, you heard that, right?
手伝うよ。
Yep.
Keeping people hostage is what the bad guys do.
And that, yeah.
We're not the bad guys.
これ来て。その上からで。
There you go. There's a scene you've been waiting for.
I'm glad it was placed where it was the way it was, because it's now, yeah.
いや、いきなり何ヶ月って。
ありがとう。
いえ、
またお会いしましょうね。
それはどうかな。キラ。
Literally everyone around you wants to kill everyone around me.
Yep.
おい、何してる？
お前はちゃんと帰ってくるよな。俺たちのところに。
必ず
He's not gonna have that option.
約束する。
You think not?
Nope.
軍曹。
きっとだぞ。約束だぞ。
You think they let somebody just run off with the only Gundam they have left?
Nope. I think he's gonna be a fugitive.
Or did that space pirate faction even want to show up?
どうしたの？ストライク、何をしている？キラヤマト。
坊主がジョーちゃんを連れ出したんだよ。ダメだ。もうエアロック開けられちまった。
なんだと？
Yep.
I mean, they're playing victory music basically, so.
行きます。捕まっててください。
Thanks for the input, Haru.
足つきからのモビルスーツの発進を確認。
第一戦闘配備発令。モビルスーツ搭乗員は直ちに発進準備。繰り返す。モビルスーツ搭乗員は。
There's something I just love about the sound of the klaxon.
It's nice.
ストライク。ラクスクラインを同行引き渡す。ただしナスカ級は艦を停止。イージスのパイロットが単独で来ることが条件だ。この条件が破られた場合、彼女の命は保証しない。
Well, he was doing so well until that last phrase.
どういうつもりだ、足つけべ。
隊長、行かせてください。
敵の真意がまだわからん。本当にラクス様が乗っているかどうかも。
隊長。
Hey, this is
I
a
mean,
rough
demand
spot.
a visual then.
許可する。
ありがとうございます。
よろしいのですか。
チャンスであることも確かさ。向こうのパイロットもまだ幼いようだな。
Also, they can't hold her hostage if she's not on the ship.
Yup.
艦長、あれが勝手に言ってることです。攻撃を。
そんなことしたら。
What are you talking about? You took her hostage without authorization too.
多分な。
ナスカ級エンジン停止。制動をかけます。イージス接近。
Here, let's see how this goes down.
Boom, headshot.
アスラン、ザラカ。そうだ。
And then you go right to pointing a gun.
話して。顔が見えないでしょ。本当にあなただってことを分からせないと。
ああ、そういうことですの。こんにちは、アスラン。お久しぶりですわ。テアディ。
確認した。
We've got the Haru can't be heard out here. We're in space.
Yeah.
さあ。
If anything, this is one of the biggest IOU ones you could have.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't think so. And if there's a difference between us thinking differently about this, then anybody could think differently about this.
お前が地球軍にいる理由がどこにある？僕だって君となんて戦いたくない。でもあの船には守りたい人たちが、友達がいるんだ。
Again, falls back to what I said before about Atherin not having any good arguments.
次に戦う時は
Yep.
お前を撃つ。僕もだ。
Warriors truce.
敵
It's not really a warrior's truce. They're like
in that moment.
Well, no, either one of them isn't even in the cockpit anymore. It's a standoff to make the Nazca stand back. That's all it is. Because it would be the height of stupidity for Kira to open fire at that point.
Oh, absolutely.
Here you go, here's Lacus. You know? Like, kill the person I was trying to save.
Lax, 危ないですから。ラウル・クルーゼ隊長。やめてください。追悼慰霊団代表の私のいる場所を戦場にするおつもりですか。
こんな時に何を。
そんなことは許しません。すぐに戦闘行動を中止してください。聞こえませんか。
困ったお嬢様だ。
Oh
了解しま
snap.
した。ラクス・クライン。
And it's at that point that I lost faith in Lacus as well. Because sure, it seems like a good thing what she just did there. But the implication is that she could have done that at any point.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Everything changes.
Play, what type of power? Oh. Okay.
Oh. I told you a long time ago. Oh, I wish the comment section would get there eventually. How everything could have changed if he didn't pick up that life pod.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know yet. But I mean, that was the one Flay was on. Flay was in that life pod. Everything could have changed if he just didn't pick up that life pod.
Yeah, because she's gonna be a problem now.
Is she? I don't know, I'm in this weird position where you're agreeing with me makes me want to side with Flay. So...
Oh. I don't know what side I'm at all interested in siding with yet.
取り戻せないものはどれか。様々に向けられた言葉とその影にある思いは静かに積もり、やがてキラを閉じ込める。今の自分に課せられた使命を知るとき、突き抜け放たれたものは。次回機動戦士ガンダムシード、目覚める刃。駆け抜ける空に何を生むのかガンダム。
Sorry, I thought it was the name of... I thought the episode had a different name, so I think I'm thinking of the episode after that one.
Understood. No, that was fun.
I know you're not, like, taking a side or anything yet, but I feel like I work best at, in point-counterpoint. So
yes.
One of us needs to have a side for me to be able to have a clear discussion about things. I'm not saying, hey, pick a side. I'm just saying that
I know.
You are constantly on the side that I normally find myself on, which means that I have to do the prosecution sort of thing, which is I might not believe in the side that I'm taking, but I have to take a side.
So here's the thing. It's all going to depend on how responsibly Kira handles the consequences of this choice. Because if he continues to be a whiny person who runs over responsibility, I am not on his side.
I don't know where to take this because this show, man. I'm like going back over here, looking down my page of notes to the last things that I had written down for the last episode that I'm waiting to come back to. And man, it's just I don't know where you're gonna be once we get to that episode. Like I said, I don't know where to take. One, I'm obviously on the back foot because I think I'm gonna have to take the side of the person I dislike. Yeah. Obviously, you can tell from my previous notes that when I was watching this with Griff, the parts that I came to you with was, I think Flay is here just to be annoying. So obviously, I was already on that foot when it came to Flay before any of this. And now you're saying things that make it sound like I have to start picking up that side of the argument. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to
defend.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to whip around. I think the problem, not a problem. The thing that I have to take in here with is I'm typically the guy who's like, yeah, the bad guys really got a point here, or more so, I think I erase that part. I don't usually say the bad guys have a point. That is horrible thing to point out. Usually I say the bad guys are more interesting because the good guys tend to have plot armor and the bad guys can die at any time. So when a bad guy takes the field, I'm not like, this is not really interesting. I know he's either going to win or he's going to come out of it fine. Any bad guy can die at any point. Originally my favorite character in Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans was a guy named Crank. And he dies episode 2. Like, first episode is like, this guy's...
Crank, you're not long-lived.
Well, he's like a general. His whole thing is, I don't want to fight kids. Like, he has a whole moral standing and everything like this, and the point of him dying is to show that doesn't fucking matter. Like, he thanks the kid ends up killing... he's thanking the kid that ends up defeating him. And he's, like, giving his little speech about, just go ahead and take me out. He didn't even get to finish the speech. The kid just fucking shoots him. Like, opens the suit of the mobile suit, pulls out a gun, boom, in the head. You're dead. Speech unfinished, because he's not the kind of character that's needed for this kind of show. But so I have a habit of picking favorite characters on the bad guy side that almost immediately die. So, my issue here is, you're kind of the same person.
The bad guys are always far more interesting.
Yeah, no, I've basically I was talking to Lessons before, like, I don't know Lessons' background with Gundam, so when we start doing the Universal Century thing with the three of us, I'm like, do you have a favorite character in Gundam? So that I can tell the artist to draw you that way? And he picked somebody that I wouldn't have guessed. I would have had him drawn as Amuro, if left to my own devices. Obviously, I'm going to have you drawn as a Char. Because you've already said that that's your favorite character so far in the one episode that you've seen. But also you've got that anti-hero vibe to you.
Yeah,
so
the heroes are just they're one note a lot of the time.
Well, my thing is I tend to not pick the protagonist or the main characters. I don't pick main characters because I feel like picking a main character as your favorite character is kind of just a cheat. It's cheap and it's a cheat. But that's why even though I would pick villains and such as my art character thing, and I side with them during shows, I wouldn't pick Char myself, because Char, I figure, is a main character. So...
Got it.
Whereas I don't feel like you have that problem, but at the same point, he's also the character you said I like. So... But it's the same broad concept, though, is that you like characters that I would end up liking. So I feel like this show works better, or this kind of reaction content, I would say, works better if we have a point of debate. So if it's just both of us saying, yeah, high five, agree, that's not working for me. So I am just going to have to go into lawyer mode. Did you ever watch Star Trek?
Little bits, but not much.
One of the best Next Generation episodes is, oh god, I can't remember the title now. Making of a Man. I can something like that. I've got it way off, and someone's gonna correct me in the comments, but it's literally somebody wants to take Data, who's the android, and take him apart and study him, and it will basically we'll kill Data, but we'll be able to make 1,000,000 more Datas. And the argument is, no, Data's a living creature. He's alive. He has consciousness. He has rights. And they have to hold an impromptu trial to prove, to say who has the most rights here. The guy here whose entire life study is about what Data is, and will progress the Federation completely by being able to make many more Datas. Or Data as a sentient creature. So you have the captain of the ship who has to defend Data, and they say, well, we don't have any other trial lawyers or anything here, so your second officer is going to have to play prosecution. And he's like, I don't want to do that. I'm Data's friend. I was like, well, alright, if you don't do it, then we're going to default to the other guy who's been proven to be a sentient person wins. So in order to save your friend or give your friend a chance to be saved, you're going to have to argue against him being alive. It's the best.
That's great.
It's the best example. It's like
that's a weird place to be put into.
It's one of the best episodes of the series, but that's what I feel like I'm coming at this from. I have to stand against what I might normally agree with to argue the other side with the same conviction. I don't know, though. I usually get all the hate, so if my normal point of view is getting all the hate, maybe that'll be directed at you now, and then I'll have to make the arguments I dislike.
Let's go.
I'll have to make the arguments I dislike and get all the fans. I don't know. Man, that'd be a weird turn of somebody who tuned in from early Gundam series. Man, I watched these people watch Iron-Blooded Orphans and Double O. I fucking hated that Theta guy. Come in 2 years later, we're like 2 seasons in on Universal Century, and I'm singing the praises of Amuro and whatnot. I don't know what happened to that Theta guy, but he's saying all the right shit now.
I love it. I'm here for it.
All based on this conversation that we both had about me saying shit I disagree with.
Yep. This was a good episode, though. I understand why it's called Crossroads. It was the paying off of true respect.
I was wondering if you were going to share with the class. I understand why it's called Crossroads. Yeah, I mean, it has the best.
The name. Do you?
It has the best sound in human history.
I don't know what the hell that sound was supposed to be.
Well, he was crying.
Yeah, obviously, I'm sorry. If you cry like that, that's fucked up.
Look, I'm not gonna make fun of somebody who's crying, right? Obviously, if you're already crying, last thing you need is somebody coming around laughing at you for crying, especially if that's your noise. I'm just saying that this is a show, and somebody got prompted in a recording booth to make a crying noise and thought that was the play. So, if you cry like that in real life, I'm not making fun of you. I'm making fun of the choice made here.
Absolutely. If you're the poor, unfortunate person who has that cry in real life, do your thing.
Look, I feel like crying in real life is one of those things that unless you're putting on an act, you don't really have control over, because it is literally just your emotions coming out in the most uncontrollable way possible. So, no matter how you cry, every cry is valid. I'm just saying, in a show where obviously I don't think that guy was feeling the emotions that the person in the episode felt and had to come up with a cry.
I'm just curious what the prompt was to get that cry.
Gargling marbles is the best thing I've got. I do not know. Yeah. I
was
mean, I
like-
don't know.
That
I
was a
don't know.
rough one. That was a rough one.
Any other thoughts about the episode, though?
They really need to get their chain of command in order on the Earth Forces ship.
Well, you remember that Ramus didn't want to be put in charge at first. It just happens to be that she outranked everybody.
I am fully aware. That does not excuse all of what's gone down. Ramus has been such a pushover.
Well, remember, she wanted to put LaFlaga in charge, and LaFlaga said no. So she actually
but
tried to defer command.
But there's a line where, like you have to forcefully step down or do the thing. Like,
Well, I don't think she can step down. The situation wouldn't allow for it.
so if that is the basis that we are going off of, then she needs to she needs to accept the responsibility and actually do what's supposed to be done. Because if it was up to her, they'd be dead 2 times over, if not 3.
I think the thing that you're describing is just a plot point for later. Obviously,
Most likely.
This is what you would use to set up a future situation where what you would expect to happen would have to then happen. I don't think, though, that we've witnessed enough pushback, right? Like, if this was the situation that you're describing being built up to, I feel like she would have had a lot more of a problem with what Batgirl did with the whole hostage thing. That would need to be expressed, and then we'd have, in the parlance of the whole, this show takes 3 times longer to do a thing than most shows, that she would then have this whole frustration scene about what just happened. And then we would use that frustration to build into a, more authoritarian, same word, more authoritarian. Yeah, figure on ship, or at least somebody who takes charge more, as though you were just saying. So, we didn't get that, though.
It's not even a taking charge more. Like, there's so many things that have happened on the ship that are going to have to be answered for. And she is the one whose head it's going to come down on.
Well, I mean, I guess answer to who? Every time we encounter somebody, they fucking die.
People are dying left, right, and center.
No, I just mean that there's no authority, right? The only people that would have been above them before were the Eurasian Federation people. They're all dead now. Then we just met up with the 8th Fleet, or I guess the escorts to the 8th Fleet, and they're all dead now. Like, every time we encounter somebody with more authority than ourselves, they die.
Okay, so based off that logic, someone's going to have to step up and actually take control, and it's clearly, at this point, not the person who's in charge.
My only problem with that description of events is that's how Ramius got in charge. You're describing the scenario of episode 2.
I know, but Ramius' actions have rubbed me the wrong way in the past couple episodes.
What? What has she done?
It's what she's not done.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. I mean, I hate when that happens in real life, though, because sometimes you might not understand that you're making mistakes. It's hard. It's the most difficult thing is to be blamed for something you didn't know that you should be doing.
1,000,000%. This is not an easy situation at all. And I'm sure she's just trying to keep it together. It's just where the line is currently sitting at.
All right, so you've already gone from she's rubbed me the wrong way to apologizing for her.
Not that apologizing for her one bit. It's still on her. I'm just able to see it from her perspective as well.
All right. I think this is the devil in me is coming out.
And I love it.
All right. Well, I think that's enough for this episode then. Once again, I'm Theta. This is Justin. We are Stone-Faced Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?